Hello and welcome to the channel. The United Kingdom High Commissioner to Nigeria has praised President Tinubu's impact on the economy in such a short space of time. He said Tinubu's policies, such as the fuel subsidy removal, as well as exchange rate reforms, has had a positive effect on would-be investors who are starting to take notice. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. Businesses responding positively to Tinubu, British High Commissioner. The British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Richard Montgomery, said yesterday that ministers, businesses, and investors in the United Kingdom were responding positively to policies enunciated by the Bola Tinubu administration so far. He also explained that the decision by the United Kingdom to ban international students from bringing family members with them starting from 2024 was to avoid overburdening the country's housing infrastructure and control the inflow of migrants. Montgomery, who stated this while speaking with State House correspondents after holding a closed-door meeting with Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, said, "As I discussed with His Excellency, the big economic decisions being taken by this government are really important and are being noticed around the world. The removal of subsidy, the exchange rate reform, all of that create a much better investment environment. I was in London last week. I was briefing my ministers, but I was also talking to British business in finance, banking, and investment sectors. They are all responding very positively to these first decisions," he said. He said further that the discussions also featured areas of assistance by the British government to cushion the effects of the discontinuance of petroleum subsidy, which has spelled tough times for Nigerians. The High Commissioner said, "We know that there are tough times that are going on at the moment, inflation and unemployment. The Vice President and I also touched on some of the measures that might be possible to cushion the blow of some of these economic pressures. But I think the big issue is that these reforms help put Nigeria on a higher growth path. They will attract more investment, and the United Kingdom and the City of London see Nigeria as a big opportunity going forward. I will be doing my part to try to boost those, enhance trade and investment." On the decision to ban international students from bringing family members with them to the UK starting from 2024, the High Commissioner said, "Many more students are trying to bring their dependents with them, but it is not always possible to find the housing and services to meet all the needs of our existing student population. We will have to manage our migration in and out of the UK," he said. Recall that on May 23rd, the UK Home Office said international students, including Nigerians, would no longer be able to bring family members with them starting January 2024. It also announced that overseas students will be stopped from switching from student visa routes to a work visa until their studies were completed. The decision had been greeted with mixed reactions from international students, schools, and some British lawmakers, who argued that the regulation would aggravate labor shortages in critical sectors such as healthcare and threaten the country's global standing as a top destination for international students. Fielding questions from journalists, the British High Commissioner said further, "I think there are two issues here. The first is, it is not always possible to find the housing and services to meet all the needs of all our existing student population. Second, reasonable people would accept that we have to manage our visitor numbers and we will have to manage our migration in and out of the UK, just as the Nigerian government will do." Montgomery revealed that Nigerian students coming to the UK had increased fivefold in the last 3 years, even as they make up 10% of those granted UK visas annually. He added, "That issue was not raised in the meeting with the Vice President just now, but I would like to put the media debate about it in a broader context. Last year, 2022, for example, the UK granted 3 million new visas, of which 325,000 were to Nigerians. Nigerian visitors constitute over 10% of the people coming to London and the UK. It is a fantastic success story for our universities. and we are all really delighted that so many Nigerians are coming to the UK. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. Meanwhile, in related news, presidential media aide Dele Alake on Wednesday revealed that no less than 4 foreign leaders have requested to meet with President Bola Tinubu in Paris, France. The meeting with other world leaders is on the sidelines of the new Global Financial Pact Summit organized by President Emmanuel Macron. The country is expressing interest to expand economic cooperation of France, the United States, and Switzerland, among others, as President Tinubu works to network in a bid to attract greater foreign investment to the country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Wednesday held a strategic meeting with stakeholders ahead of the new Global Financial Pact Summit in Paris, France. The meeting was held to discuss what Nigerians stand to benefit from the 2-day global summit. The new Global Financial Pact Summit is slated for June 22nd and 23rd in Paris, France. Tinubu at the summit will join other world leaders to review and sign a new Global Financial Pact that places vulnerable countries on the priority list for support and investment following the devastating impact of climate change, energy crisis, and after the effect of the coronavirus pandemic. According to a statement from the presidency, Tinubu will participate in the 2-day summit, June 22nd and 23rd, that looks at opportunities to restore fiscal space to countries that face difficult short-term financial challenges, especially the most indebted, mobilize innovative financing for countries vulnerable to climate change, foster development in low-income countries, and encourage investment in green infrastructure for the energy transition in emerging and developing economies. In the same vein, former World Bank President David Malpass has commended President Bola Tinubu's decision to end fuel subsidy and scrap the dual exchange rates in Nigeria. According to Malpass, these moves would help in reducing corruption in the country. Sharing a Financial Times story on steps taken by Tinubu's government, Malpass argued that the fuel subsidy regime and dual exchange rate are harmful to the Nigerian economy. Speaking via a tweet on Wednesday, Malpass wrote, "Glad to see art official Abbott taking concrete steps to scrap Nigeria's harmful government subsidies and multiple exchange rates. These are important steps toward currency stability, lower inflation, and reduced corruption in Africa's most populous country." That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time. Bye.